Have you ever set a goal and completely forgot about it by the next week? Same. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing all of my mindset shifts, my routines, and I'm going to be sharing all of the systems that's going to help me actually achieve my goals. And hopefully these help you as well. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Mary and I share smarter ways to travel, eat, and live, all while navigating my late 20s. My goal for this channel is to make life a little easier, healthier, and a lot more intentional. So if you're into that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let's get right into the video. So the first thing I want to touch on are my wellness goals. So I've already put everything down in a list and we're just going to be looking through them just so I can make sure I stay organized. So the first thing I have on my list is going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week and aim to hit a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. So right now at work, I'm averaging about 3,000 steps a day and that's just not enough. And I feel like I'm just racking up weight so quickly. So my sedentary lifestyle, my desk job, that type of lifestyle just isn't working with my weight goal that I'm trying to reach. So I figured trying to aim for 10,000 steps a day would really get me there. That is my goal this time, is to hit 10,000 steps and to really start seeing the weight fall off. Another thing I want when I'm at the gym, I want to make sure I'm hitting my arms so they look toned for my wedding day. I also will be cooking 80% of my meals. So I'm going to try and limit the amount of times I'm getting outside food, getting any type of carry out or going out to eat. Especially that also ties into the healthy living stuff that I like to talk about on my channel, with just knowing what's going into my food, especially when I look at my diet and some of the things I try to cut out. I don't know if that restaurant's using it or not. And just with food handling, some people just aren't really clean when it comes to handling your food. Another thing I want to do to really make sure I'm hitting my wellness goals is work out to Tara's Body. Tara's Body is someone on YouTube and she creates these Afrobeat dances that you can do cardio to, and I love it. It's a fun way to shed off all that weight and keep myself moving and just switch it up, because right now if I don't hit all my steps a day, I'm forced to basically go on a treadmill and just walk my life away. So right now I use a portable treadmill in my office and I raise up my standing desk and I just use it as a treadmill and I just do whatever I was going to do on my computer, but now I'm walking on a treadmill because I only hit 3,000 steps a day at work. So now I got to hit the rest of my steps on that treadmill. And this has really been helping, I promise you. So if you don't have one yet, look into investing a portable treadmill that can just go right under your desk at work. If I could bring it to work, I would. I am honestly thinking about doing it. The only reason why I won't bring it to work is that it's busy and I don't want to bother anyone because it's kind of quiet on my floor. But in my home office, when I on the work from home days, I definitely need to use it, because on my work from home days, I only average about 1,500 steps a day. Definitely recommend getting a portable treadmill. It was around $175 on Amazon. I'm going to link it down below in the description if you want to get it. All right, now we're gonna head over to my financial goals. So I put spend less and track more. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the spreadsheet that we're using right now. So what we did was we took all of our transactions that we had in the month of March, because I wasn't really getting an idea of what we should really budget. So I wanted to just get a refresh. We have all these certain budgets, but I wanted to see how we were spending our money. So in the month of March, we really didn't have a budget. We're just spending how we normally would, but there wasn't really a budget in the back of our head, in the back of our minds. And that was on purpose, just so we can try and track to see exactly how much we're spending naturally. That really helped. And another thing I would recommend is, once you get all of your transactions from your bank, you can set custom dates and you can download it as a CSV file, pop it into Google Sheets and do a pivot inside the spreadsheet, and you can basically see the categories that everything costs. So in my spreadsheet, I'm paying attention to some of the high numbers and some of the places we were spending at, and just taking a look and see what we should budget for those things or what we should start cutting back on. And one of those things that we're going to start cutting back on is groceries. We spent almost $700 on groceries for 2 people so far in March. Now, that is because I have this obsession with cooking different 5-star gourmet meals, and I'm sure it adds up. Last week, I wanted to take on a challenge of deshelling an entire lobster, and it was the scariest thing ever. The lobster jumped off the counter and onto the floor. I'm never doing that again. I'm traumatized. Here. Hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. Where's my Ah! Stay right there. Stay. Don't you stop it. Stop it. Listen, stop it. Jesus. Oh hell no. So So that was really expensive on its own. Definitely need to cut back on my groceries. So we're going to set up a budget for that. Another thing I'm going to start doing is stop buying lunch at work. Not only does the lunch at work make me fat, I think the lunch at work, I don't know what they're putting in it. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't eat. I don't like canola oil. Primarily use olive oil, and if I have to use any high fat oil, it has to be avocado oil. I do not consume anything with vegetable oil. It's just so hard to track to see what these places use for their oils. I try not to obsess over it, but if there's a way that I can avoid it, I do try to make sure I can. I usually like to make sure I'm making my own lunches now, and because I'm trying to hit this weight goal, I'm making salads. I'm not really a salad person. I hate salads. I feel like I'm eating a lot of things I shouldn't be. I'm trying to cut back on all of those feel-good meals, those cheesy meals. I need to cut back on all of them. Next thing in my notes here is cutting out unnecessary subscriptions. And Netflix, I'm talking about you. Yeah, so Netflix has this thing with not releasing all of the episodes when they have their key shows out like Love is Blind. But I'm onto you, Netflix. You keep raising your prices. That's fine. Keep raising your prices. I'm just going to cancel you when I'm not using it. And I'm going to be so intentional about it to the point that I'm going to start setting reminders around the time that you guys have releases.
Okay.
So that's another tip for you guys. You can pause your Netflix if you're not using it. Another hot tip is stay away from watching those shows. That's how they get you. They draw you in with all those new shows and then you can't turn it off. You keep paying for Netflix, and I'm not paying for the cheap Netflix where you have ads. I'm not watching ads. So I pay for the full Netflix, but I do cancel it if I'm not using it. Then I move over to Peacock because it's free because of the $15 credit you get with American Express Platinum. So I utilize that entertainment credit for Hulu and Peacock, and I think that's a great way for me to cut down my subscription cost. Just a quick tip when it comes to these subscriptions, if you're ever signing up for a free trial, I strongly recommend sending a reminder to cancel within 3 days before it ends. This is something I always try to make sure I get in the habit of doing because I don't want to forget about the subscription and then I end up paying for something that I really didn't use. So this is something I'm very intentional about, is if I sign up for something, a free trial, I immediately after signing up set a reminder to cancel such and such at this time so I'm not charged for it. Lastly, for my financial goals, I want to get a travel credit card so we can start racking up points for our honeymoon. I want to do something where we're going all over Europe, and I would like to go travel for a month. I don't know if my job will let me, but at least a few weeks I would like to travel and just go around Europe and maybe touch down in the Maldives for a little bit and just do a lot of fun stuff for our honeymoon, since we're not really doing a big old wedding. So we're really going to splurge on the honeymoon. I really want to make sure I rack up a lot of points, and this is going to be for another video, but I will leave you guys a sneak peek. Chase Sapphire is currently offering a 100,000 point bonus, and they haven't done this in years. I think about 4 years, I heard. So I quickly ran to the bank. You can only do this inside the branch. For right now, they've released this card for you to apply online just yet at the time of me recording this. So for the most part, right now, you have to go inside the branch. I went today, got approved, and I'm going to hit that minimum spend. I think the minimum spend is about 4,000 to 5,000. So really good trick to hit your minimum spend without spending things that you normally don't spend money on is putting your rent on there. There's so much stuff that we're paying for wedding stuff and just things around our place. And we also have some vacations that's coming up. So that is a great way for you to utilize this spend without you spending money that you otherwise wouldn't have spent. We're just spending on things that we already would have. For the 100,000 points, the reason why it's so specific that we really want these points is those 100,000 points is going to pay for the short haul flights that we're going to be taking in Europe, all over Europe. We're going to be taking some flights there. So that's going to be covering that. And the points also cover Hyatt stays. Staying at Hyatt hotels with points is such a great deal. Our Hyatt hotels will have prices for $645 a night. And with your points, you can redeem them for 20,000 points. So in my head, I always do the simple math with points. 20,000 points a night, that's $200 a night for a $645 hotel. So definitely, if you haven't already, get this Chase Sapphire card. I will make a more detailed video on points and miles and travel credit cards that I recommend. But for right now, I'm going to just leave it there. So let's get into career and business goals. So I want to start working on finding a 5 to 9. Since I got out of the business world after facing a challenging time, facing failure, losing, not doing too well with my last business, and I went back into the 9 to 5 life. I want to find a way to jump back into business slowly and get my feet wet again, just trying to find something I can start on the side. Other thing I want to do is start networking more. This person on TikTok always posts these networking events. She's in tech, I'm in finance, so I want to reach other people and see what other types of roles are out there. And networking is a great way for you to keep your skills sharp and meet new people, meet recruiters. So definitely want to make sure I start hitting networking events again. And that's definitely a goal of mine. And lastly, under career and business goals, I want to attend a Toastmasters club. So Toastmaster is usually a club where you basically learn how to public speak. I am terrified of public speaking, and who doesn't want to face that fear of public speaking if they have it? So definitely something I want to tackle. So next we have my personal and lifestyle goals. So I want to make sure I'm having more intentional weekends. What that looks like is making sure I'm waking up early or I'm sleeping in. If I'm waking up early, cool. If I'm sleeping in, also cool. It's my weekend. I can do whatever I want. And also I want to make sure on my weekends that I work on my YouTube channel a lot more and work on social media a lot more, especially being that I don't have a lot of time throughout the week, Monday through Friday. So I really want to make sure I spend Saturday and Sunday really preparing for my YouTube channel and all things social media. I want to limit stress. Anything that stresses me out, nope, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. If it's not making me money, if it's not making me laugh, and if it's not making sense, it's gotta go. That's just the space I'm in this year. I'm not dealing with any type of BS. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not arguing back and forth. So definitely something that I am prioritizing this year. Another thing here is I'm going to start aiming to learn something new every day or every week. I want to keep my brain sharp and I want to make sure I'm always learning something new. One thing that's really important to me is always increasing my skill set, especially because these jobs are not permanent. You never know when you're going to get let go from a job. They can take my role from me, but they can't skills from me. So I feel like always trying to find ways to upskill is a really big goal of mine because you just can never be too comfortable at your job. Just upskilling can help you in all facets of your life, whether you're at a career or you're starting your own business. Upskilling really helps. So just focusing on increasing my skill set, trying to find ways that I can learn more things. This kind of segues into me making sure I'm using my Audible a lot more. I feel like I'm not using Audible as much as I should be. I have a catalog of books, so my goal is to go through my entire catalog of books. I think I have about 18 right now. So I put maximizing my time on here, and what this looks like is using grocery pickup. Go online and I go do all my shopping, and then I go ahead and I go and pick it up right after work. All I have to do is just go park in a spot and then bring it out to the car, and I'm on my way and I'm cooking dinner. And this is such a great idea to really help you save time, especially that Monday through Friday right after work. So that about sums up personal and lifestyle goals. If you guys have any habits that you're trying, go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. I'm super eager to learn what people are doing and just trying to see what I can start picking up and start using in my day-to-day as well. So next goal of mine is start taking up new hobbies. So I put here, I start taking swimming classes. It's an essential life skill. And I feel like I need to make sure I get that down, especially if I want to go to the Maldives where it's a primarily water destination. So I'm going to start taking some swimming classes. I also want to take up Taekwondo. I really never thought I would get into boxing. So I'm going to start off with Taekwondo and take it from there, Jiu-Jitsu. I just really want to do something like Taekwondo, just get into some type of physical training. Eventually, I want to start taking golf lessons. I don't have the best eyesight. I use glasses and I don't know why, just that's kept me away from doing golf. I don't know why, because I feel like I won't be able to see what's going on. That's something that's always kept me away from sports is I can't see. I don't have vision. So it's really hard for me to see balls like volleyball, basketball. It's really hard for me to see distance. Always kind of me away from sports. So I kind of get back into sports and golf would be one of the things I want to start taking up. So that's about all of my goals that I have for the year and things that I'm going to be working on. I want to get into the tools and systems that I'm going to be used that's going to help me achieve these goals. So the first thing I have is a journal app in my iPhone. Go into your iPhone and then there's a journal app that you can use. It's one of their newest things that they've added. I definitely recommend using that. You can lock it with the iPhone passcode that you use on your phone, or you can lock it with Face ID, or you can do whatever you want. You can triple lock it, double lock it, whatever. It's safe. Let's not say it's safe. We don't know if it's safe. We don't know if anyone can track anything on this iPhone. Who knows? But for the most part, I feel safe using it and I like to talk to it. So I'll just hit the the microphone button and I just speak what's on my mind, and I do that, and that really helps me kind of myself reflect on a day and really kind of thoughts out. The thing I recommend getting into is using a planner. My planner really helps me kind of organize like everything I need to do. The satisfaction of crossing something out on paper, perfect. I also use Google Calendar. Everything goes in there. Everything. Okay. This is why I don't forget people's birthdays, and this is why I don't forget appointments, because everything goes in my calendar. What are you doing next week at this time? Let me check my calendar. So that's just kind of vibe I'm on. Especially being a type A person, Google Calendar is my best friend. A physical planner, I definitely recommend it. I know digital planners are in. I feel like I use this so much more than a digital planner. It's just something about touching your hand. Pen and paper. I just love it. It's a classic thing and I love it. And you have this little book here. I love Blue Sky planners. Always make sure I'm using the reminders. Just use the reminders. It'll pop up at the top of your phone. It's such a great way to stay organized and make sure you remember things, and make sure you cancel those subscriptions that you don't use. So I definitely recommend using the reminder app. Anyway, guys, I hope all of these tips, me sharing my goals, helps you work on setting goals. We're in this together. So go ahead, and if you have a goal you want to share in the comments, I'd love to hear it. I would. If you want to keep it to yourself, I totally get it. That's another thing. You're working on keeping things to yourself. Move in silence, but everyone show up, and you use the progress. Stop telling people what you're going to do it. So I totally get that too. But if there's any you want to share, can help anyone, go ahead and leave them down below. This video is really fun to make. Really seeing everything come together and being able to talk about my goals really helped. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.